Hi guys, it's Kristen with Centennial Roots Homestead. I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the meat birds that we are raising this year. We purchased 100 meat chicks back in May from Cackle Hatchery. Now I've grown up my whole life raising chickens, mostly layers, and for a few years we have done some different meat birds, Freedom Rangers, Cornish Cross, those types, and they've all done fine for us. I like being able to put our meat that we have raised in the freezer. We know how we raised it. We know what we fed it. So it's definitely a benefit to be able to raise your own if you're able to. This year with Centennial Roots, we are doing a poultry processing workshop this fall. And so we wanted to get 100 meat birds to have that available for the workshop. So anyone that wants to can sign up and come out and participate in our workshop. You will be learning the entire gamut of poultry processing, from dispatching, how to clean, how to piece out, how to store, and you will be able to take home your fresh chicken. So anyway, we ordered 100 meat birds and we picked those up at Cackle Hatchery back in May. And for the first little bit, they're day-old chicks. They have to be taken, pretty good care of. And so I put those in an empty kennel that we had at our facility, and I was able to put them under heat lamps and keep a close eye on them. And we raised them up until last weekend when we moved them out to pasture. So the birds that we got from Cackle Hatchery were the fry pan version, and that's actually a mix of heavy breed heritage male birds. And so I wanted to see exactly how they would grow out. They are a little slower growing than your Cornish Cross or your Freedom Rangers, but they don't have the leg issues and the heart issues that those birds can have. And one thing that I wanted to do with our meat birds was to put them out on pasture. We're using Premier One poultry netting, hot fence or hot netting, to be able to do rotational grazing per se with our chickens. And they are actually out in the goat and the cattle pasture, kind of following and helping to enhance the pastures. Anyway, we chose the fry pan version because of being the heritage breed, a little slower growing, and so they will be able to forage a lot better than the Cornish Cross or the Freedom Ranger or that type of bird. So we've moved them out to pasture.
Hey, easy with the claws, dude.
They are doing fantastic. They are staying within that netting, which we got a fairly large area for them, and we can move that as needed depending on the weather, how dry the pasture gets. We can move them. They do have shelter in an old brooder house, which has been fun. It was stocked pretty full of stuff when we moved here a year and a half ago, and so we have cleaned that out. And it's actually being used as a brooder house as it was built to be many, many years ago.
Maybe that came from the windmill.
Father Ramey of the Baptist Church performed the ceremony. There were about 50 present, including relatives and friends. There were a number of nice presents. Among them was a set of silver knives and forks presented by Mr. William Adams of Jackson County. After partaking of a most delicious supper, the evening passed very pleasantly when the party took their departure. And we can still rotate that netting around that building and still give them different areas of pasture. So far, the netting has worked very well. We've got the battery-powered charger, and it's actually in the brooder house so that it's out of the elements, and the netting has done fantastic. We have a 55-gallon drum waterer with the little chicken trays on them that's worked great, as well as a feeder that's also a 55-gallon drum with feeder holes in it. So continue to check back with us and we'll show you the process. If you're interested in our workshop in the fall, be sure to check out centennialroots.com and you can sign up there for the workshop. If you have any questions, you can comment down below and we'll get back with you. Thanks for watching.